This painting shows a woven rush chair on a tiled floor. The feel is rustic and bucolic, not just in the simplicity of the empty chair but also in the texture of the paint itself. Van Gogh painted this picture as a pendant to another painting he made at the same time as Gauguin's chair. The paintings were done in December 1888, when the relationship between Gauguin and Van Gogh had become strained, and though as yet nothing had been mentioned, Van Gogh was aware of the fact that his dream of sharing a studio was rapidly disintegrating. His simple chair sits empty, symbolic of its absent owner, and is an image that is infinitely sad. It is an extraordinary instance of propelling a most familiar object beyond the realm of still life so that it comes to represent the artist himself. Van Gogh painted the picture on one of the coarse canvases that Gauguin had brought with him to Arles, and built the composition up through flat, broad areas of color combined with complex pattern created through the complicated lines of the chair and tiles.
University student Mr. Liu returned to his apartments he shared with his older sister. After a long day at school, he laid back on his bed to rest while his sister, Miss Liu, who had just gotten out of the shower, sat down at her desk to twiddle around on the internet while blow-drying her hair. Then, with no warning, a sharp bang ripped through the room, and a powerful surge of air followed, throwing the room into disarray. In the aftermath, Mr. Liu, still reeling from the sudden pressure change, looked around their ransacked room to see his sister laying still on the floor, her body thrown like a dead thing against the side of their bed. She was still conscious, but just barely, and passed out moments later. With his sister's blood pooling on the floor around him, Mr. Liu called the paramedics, and shortly after, she was hoisted into an ambulance, speeding off to the emergency room. Medical teams got to work on her double time, and told her family that she'd been injured by an explosion. Her anus had been split open, punctured by fragments of metal, and her genitals had likewise been perforated by shrapnel and debris. Miss Liu was wheeled into surgery not long after getting to the hospital, where surgeons and nurses worked to remove the detritus that had been rocketed into her nether regions. After a grueling 5 hours, doctors finally stitched up her wounds. But her journey wasn't done yet. It would take yet another 6 months for her injuries to fully heal.
Vincent van Gogh, in full Vincent Willem van Gogh, born March 30, 1853, Zundert, Netherlands, died July 29, 1890, Auvers-sur-Oise, near Paris, France, Dutch painter, generally considered the greatest after Rembrandt van Rijn, and one of the greatest of the post-impressionists. The striking color, emphatic brushwork, and contoured forms of his work powerfully influenced the current of expressionism in modern art.